So my name is Nengi Omuku. I am a painter from Nigeria. I studied in the SLADE for 6 years. I did a bachelor's and master's I think 5 years ago, finished. So I came back to England to do this project called Hospital Rooms. It's basically this team of amazing people that have come together and decided that they want to transform intensive care locked psychiatric units in London and sort of transform them from the stark white clinical spaces that they look like and add color and vibrancy to the space, in the hope that it would help with the recovery process of the patients. So they asked me to come on board, and I was like, yes, definitely. I was in Nigeria, secondary school. I was 11, and I went into my first art class, and I don't remember exactly what I was doing or what I was painting, but I just remember the sensation and sort of the way I felt in that space making work. And then I realized, like, this is all I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life, like nothing else. I just felt settled in that studio. Like I wasn't really, nothing was on my mind apart from what was like directly in front of me. And it's the feeling you get when you're making work and you know, responding to something that you've seen or some impulse and transferring it onto the surface. I don't really know exactly how to describe it, but like it's like an insatiable, like, just joy. Well, I'm not like an artist that like paints like constantly or is constantly doodling. I know there's some artists that, you know, they can't stop drawing. I'm constantly thinking about work. But before I like approach a canvas, is a very tentative process. It's a very tentative like thing. So I think a lot about the work before I actually start painting it. So my experience with the actual physicality of painting is very like, you know, it takes time before it gets to the canvas. My work sort of revolves around how we as human beings encounter each other. So I'm thinking about like when you're meeting another person, what are the feelings that come up in you based on that experience of meeting this person? How do we encounter difference, like whether it's racial difference or sexual difference? What are our responses to these things? And I think I'm thinking, you know, about preconceived ideas we have about race, and how maybe black is one thing, white is afraid of black, green is less than pink. These kinds of things, you know, like these ideas that you're not born with, but I think culture and society that you're in sort of influences you in a strange kind of way sometimes. So I think about these things, and I guess that's sort of the basis of the majority of my paintings. Like, what happens when two bodies within a painting come and meet? Like, what is that encounter about? Like, how do they respond to each other? Then I'm also thinking about how the environment they're in plays an active role in this encounter. So like, how can the environment respond to what's happening with these two bodies in this space, and not just be a background, basically. So these are the things I'm thinking about. So I'm thinking about a lot about physical presence and what that means, as well as your mental space, what it means to becoming at a person with ideas, or, you know, who are you as a person really without your skin. I think they call him the father of modern painting in Nigeria, and Ben went to the SLADE, and when I found this out, I was like, I must go to this place. So I sort of like stalked the SLADE online and tried to plot out a strategy of getting there. And eventually, when I got accepted, it was like everything to me. So I was there for my bachelor's and my master's, and it was like an absolutely transformative experience. Like, I got tutored by Philida Barlow, Lisa Milroy, Kate Bright, and just having these tutors, just, you know, and there's this perfect balance that they have, because they treat you as an artist in your own right when you walk into the space. They're not treating you like a student. So they allow you space to create, and then they come and support you, and it was perfect, really. Because I was born in Nigeria and grew up there until I was 16, So my life as an artist really started in London. So my experience of being an artist began really in London. Like my understanding of art initially started in Nigeria, but like practicing art started for me in London. And then moving back to Nigeria, I sort of had to readjust to all the things I was thinking about. I think started like evolving in a very natural way. I was thinking less about self-portraiture and wanting to include other people in the stories in my paintings. So I think Nigeria for me is a source. It's something that I will always need to stay connected to for the duration of my career. I would love to live in Nigeria and be able to move from Nigeria to wherever in the world I need to go and then come back. Yeah, it's important to me. Because I realized that when I left the state and went back, and the way my work just completely transformed in response to Nigeria, I realized that I need this place. I just kind of need it. Well, I'm reading at the moment about this vintage fabric I found in Nigeria. I found it in my mom's trunk box. It's like a box that was given to her when she got married. The groom's side would bring this box of fabrics as a sort of gift to the other family. And I'm reading about the material and the history. It's called blankety, and they have all these very strange prints, either lion heads or dog heads. And it's part of the fabric that I used for the hospital rooms project. So I'm reading a lot about this fabric and wondering how it got into Nigeria and how it suddenly became our traditional dress. So yeah, that's my reading for the moment. Well, I have this residency I'm going on, from tomorrow. And so I guess my priority, for this year, I just want to be sort of quiet in some sort of isolated place, making as many paintings as I can, just focusing on the actual making of work and see where that goes, how it evolves, because it never really stops evolving. Really, you can't really just say I found this and stop. It's a journey, it's a process. So I'm looking forward a lot to that. Forget what everybody else is making or thinking about or responding to, and just figure out what it is that you want to respond to. It doesn't have to be anything, it doesn't have to be any sort of way. Just figure out what it is that you're trying to respond to and do that.